Most people believe their financial life really begins in their 30s. Your career stabilizes, your income increases, you finally start thinking about investing. But here's the uncomfortable truth. For many people, their financial future is already decided long before that. By the time someone turns 30, the biggest financial advantage they will ever have may already be gone. Not because they didn't earn enough money, but because of a few quiet decisions made in their 20s, decisions that seemed harmless at the time. Psychologists call this the present bias. Humans naturally value rewards today far more than rewards in the future, even when the future reward is much larger. And in your 20s, that bias becomes extremely expensive because the most powerful financial force in the world is not income, it's time. And time behaves like a multiplier. In finance, this multiplier is known as compound growth. A equals P times 1 plus R to the exponent T. That simple equation quietly explains why early decisions matter so much. The longer money stays invested, the more it begins to grow on top of its own growth. In other words, time doesn't just add wealth, it multiplies it, which is why small financial mistakes in your 20s often become very large financial consequences later, not immediately, but slowly, silently, almost invisibly. And by the time most people realize it, the opportunity is much harder to recover. Here are 5 of the most common money mistakes people make in their 20s and why they matter far more than they seem. The first mistake is believing that investing can wait. Many people assume investing is something you start once your salary becomes serious, maybe in your 30s, maybe after buying a house, maybe after you feel financially stable. But mathematically, that delay is extremely costly. Imagine 2 people. Alex starts investing at age 22, just $200 per month. Nothing dramatic, no risky trades, just steady investing. After 10 years, Alex stops investing completely at age 32. Now meet Jordan. Jordan waits until age 32 to start investing, but Jordan is more disciplined. Jordan invests $200 every month for the next 30 years. At retirement age, who has more money? Surprisingly, Alex often ends up with more. Not because Alex invested more money, but because Alex invested earlier. Those first 10 years gave the investment decades to compound. This is the strange mathematics of time in finance. Starting earlier often matters more than investing more. Yet many people in their 20s postpone investing because they believe their current income is too small to matter. But compound growth does not care about how impressive the first deposit is. It only cares about how early it begins. The second mistake is lifestyle inflation. Your 20s are usually the first time you experience real income, your first job, your first consistent paycheck, your first taste of financial independence. And with that comes a powerful temptation, upgrading your life every time your income increases. A slightly nicer apartment, a slightly newer car, more expensive restaurants, more subscriptions, more comfort. None of these purchases feel unreasonable individually, but together they quietly reshape your entire financial trajectory. Economists often call this the lifestyle trap. As income rises, expenses rise just as quickly. So even when people earn more money, they never feel financially ahead. Their lifestyle expands to consume the extra income. The result is a strange paradox. Someone earning $40,000 can feel financially stable. Someone earning $120,000 can feel financially stressed, not because of income, but because of expectations. And once a higher lifestyle becomes normal, reducing it feels like moving backwards, which makes saving and investing much harder later. The third mistake is misunderstanding debt. Not all debt is equally dangerous. A mortgage used to purchase a productive asset can build wealth. Student loans used for valuable education can increase earning power. But many people in their 20s encounter a different kind of debt first: consumer debt. credit cards, buy now, pay later financing, car loans, small payments that appear manageable but accumulate rapidly. In the United States, credit card interest rates often exceed 20% annually. That means debt grows faster than many investments. When someone carries credit card balances for years, they are essentially working to pay interest rather than build wealth. And this creates a silent transfer of money from young consumers to financial institutions. Debt itself is not always the problem, but misunderstanding the cost of high-interest debt can delay financial progress for years. The fourth mistake is ignoring financial education. Most school systems teach mathematics, history, and science, but very few teach personal finance. As a result, many people enter adulthood without understanding basic concepts like investing, taxes, inflation, or risk. And when people don't understand how money works, they often rely on cultural assumptions instead. Investing is risky. Saving is enough. Real estate always goes up. Crypto will make you rich. Some of these beliefs are occasionally true. Many are not. The problem is not lack of intelligence, it's lack of exposure. Financial knowledge compounds just like money does. Someone who begins learning about investing at 20 will make dramatically different decisions than someone who starts at 40. Over decades, those small differences create enormous gaps in financial outcomes. The fifth mistake is optimizing for short-term happiness instead of long-term freedom. Your 20s are often portrayed as the decade for experiences, travel, entertainment, exploration, and there is nothing inherently wrong with enjoying life. And once a higher lifestyle becomes normal, reducing it feels like moving backwards, which makes saving and investing much harder later.